In this video, I'm going to do an unboxing of the Xbox One, and I'm actually here at a midnight launch on November 21st at probably about a quarter to midnight. So I got to get in line and get my brand new Xbox. So let's do this. So here it is, back at my house, the Xbox One Day 1 edition. And Dead Rising 3. Again, I bought this at the same Best Buy that I bought my PlayStation 4. And the process was really easy. And the lines were pretty much identical for the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. Now, I don't really understand the naming convention that Microsoft uses for the Xbox consoles. I'm thinking that maybe they should stay away from numbers for the fourth Xbox. Anyway, let me grab the Dead Rising off of the box here. And here's the box. It really looks sleek. You got a black box, and it gives you a representation of what the console looks like, where you have it bisected here. You have sort of a dark black here, and then a dark gray on this side. And then you have a representation of the Xbox One here with the controller, the Xbox, and the second generation Kinect. Up top, you have your Xbox One on the handle, and then on the back, very plain, Xbox One. On this side, you have a representation of the controller, and then on this side, you have everything that's included in here. Xbox One Day 1 edition, you get the Xbox console, the Kinect, one controller, you get a headset, you get an HDMI cable, which is nice. It has wireless networking capabilities, which is pretty much standard. 1 year limited warranty, and then a 500 gigabyte hard drive, which is the same that you get on a PlayStation 4. We have two seal points here, so let me grab my trusty cutter and slice those open. My trusty dull cutter. And move the box. Now, before we get into that, let's open up Dead Rising. Now, I believe this is actually a Blu-ray. Finally, Microsoft has moved on from DVDs to Blu-rays. And let's get this open here. And I believe this is a standard size Blu-ray case here. But we'll do a comparison in a second. Here's a PlayStation 4 game, and pretty much the same size box here, except the PlayStation 4 box is thicker by a little bit. But same size, you get some sharp corners on the Xbox One case, and you have something similar to regular Blu-rays where you have that strip up top that does not include the label, whereas the PlayStation 4 is all label, like a DVD case was, except, again, smaller. So let's get this open here. Make this quick. Don't really have any fingernails. Just cut them. There we go. And here we go. Okay, that's interesting. They reverse things, so they put the disc on the left-hand side, and then on the right-hand side you get your documentation. So that's interesting. But again, this should be a Blu-ray here. Now behind the label here, which was 3 months free of Xbox Live Gold, which is nice, you get the Xbox logo here. And let's see what we have behind this. Just get some warning information and warranty information that you can see through the cover here. So now let's open up the main event here. Everything is black, even on the inside cover here. Everything is sleek and black and cool looking. First thing you see is the Kinect, which is the second generation Kinect. And let's see what's under here. Alright, let's pull this out. Here's the headset, where you actually have the boom mic see if we can get this open here. So you have your boom mic on your headset here. You have your Xbox branding. You got your glossy black plastic here. Goes into matte plastic around the band, and a pad for the other side of your head. This pad seems like a very dense foam, rubbery foam for your ear, so it'll be comfortable on your ear. And then on the mic itself, you have probably a noise cancellation mic on this side, and then the actual mic on this side, but I'm actually just guessing on that. And on this side, you actually see the green Xbox color on the inside of the mic there. And everything else is sort of a glossy plastic. You also have a green band around the earpiece there. And this is corded. This will plug directly into your controller like you are used to, if I can get this open here, from the Xbox 360, and even before that, the original Xbox. And on this part here, interesting, as I take a closer look at the cord here, the cord is flat, as you can see there. Then on the area where it plugs into your controller, which actually plugs into the bottom of the controller like this, you have a mute button, and then you have your volume controls here. We'll plug that into the controller in a second when we actually find the controller. Alright, next up we have some documentation here. Alright, we have a power cord here. Typical power cord. Let's get it out of the bag here. There we go. Next up we have the power brick. And that's one nice thing about a PlayStation 4, is that the power brick is on the inside of the machine. There we go. So there's no external power brick on the PlayStation 4, but I think there's always been one on every Xbox. So Xbox 360 had a very large one. Here on the Xbox One, it sort of mimics the way the console looks. You have some plastic coating on this box here, which means that you're going to have some glossy piano black plastic under there. You have your Xbox branding there. I'm actually probably going to leave that on there because this power brick will be behind the television set. You're not going to see it, and why scratch up the piano plastic on there when I don't have to. You have again the look of the Xbox One mimicked on the this side and this side as well. Just your basic power brick. And the plug looks identical to the Xbox 360 plug. Let's put that to the side. We've got the controller here. Now, this controller, I actually felt this or held this controller before when the Surface 2 launched. They had an Xbox 360 on display, and I held the controller and get some batteries with it. And the controller feels, especially these triggers, feel very premium. The controller is slightly smaller than the Xbox 360 controller. You have a glossy or a chrome, a dark, I wouldn't say chrome, it's shiny, metallic looking directional pad here. You have your analog sticks here, of course they click in. Your triggers, again, they're very premium feeling. You have your shoulder buttons, your Xbox button up here, then you have a button here and a button here. I don't know exactly what they are. I don't remember if they're identical to the Xbox 360 buttons, we'll figure that out. You have your Y, B, A, and X buttons there. Everything is a very matte black plastic, except of course up here where you have your glossy plastic. Here it looks like you have a pairing button there, and then you have your port here for charging, and here you have inside, and again I don't have any fingernails, but this is where you put your batteries. There we go. Might as well put them in already. So this is a departure from the Xbox 360 controller, where you had the battery pack on the back. You have everything now incorporated into the controller itself. And it's going to go in this way, and then this way. And you have your Xbox branding on there. Let's close this up. There we go. Controller has a good weight to it, and supposedly there's a lot of force feedback that you get on this in different areas, even in the triggers and whatnot. So they spent a lot of money upgrading the controller, and as with the 360, it feels great in the hand. Again, just a little bit smaller than the 360 controller. Now, let me grab that headset piece just to show you how it hooks in here, right into the bottom of the controller, and you have your port there and two guide pieces there, and there we go. That's what it looks like with the headset in there. So everything's right at your fingertips there. Very nice. Next up we have an HDMI cord. And you get an Xbox sticker. Next up we have the Kinect sensor. So there's the sensor. You have what I assume are your mics behind here. There are two cameras in here, I believe. There's one here, or maybe there's just one camera. I don't know. I'm not too familiar. This is the first time I've ever handled a Kinect before. But I know this is upgraded from the previous Kinect. This, again, the second generation Kinect, and it can determine or discern many more body parts and many more joints on the human when it looks at you in the room. You also have your Xbox branding over there. On top, again, everything mimics the way the console looks. So you have what looks like vents up here. I don't know if they're actual vents. I think they are. You have your Xbox branding here on the side. Again, you have vents here, all coinciding with the way the console looks. Here's the back. Everything is rubberized here. You actually have a mount here. So you could mount this on a tripod if you wanted to. And there's a pivot point here, where actually let's take the plastic off here. Very shiny looking here. But again, this pivot point here. So depending on your setup, you can make sure that this is pointing directly at you. And the cord, I don't know how long it is. It looks like it could be a 6-foot, 8-foot cord. So there you go. Let's go to the next level. Next level down is just the console itself. So there we go, the Xbox One. Now, by all accounts, the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 are similar machines in that they're both built off of the x86 platform, which, if you're not familiar, is the same innards that you would find in a computer, although there's custom software built on top of it, and they're both custom machines. Now, supposedly, the PlayStation 4 has a very slight edge over the Xbox One in capabilities, which is interesting because the PlayStation 4 is a slightly smaller machine, and again, it has its power brick built into it. So they did a lot of engineering on the PlayStation 4 to pack everything into a smaller case. Possibly Microsoft is a little bit gun shy from the red ring of death problems that they had on the Xbox 360, so they made sure that there's a lot of space in there to vent out the components, but that's only conjecture on my part. So the box here is pretty interesting. You have a very glossy plastic here, and then on this side you have venting. That's all venting. That's not for looks. That's really venting. Over here, it's a very glossy plastic, and then you have your Xbox branding, your Xbox logo here, if you can see that. Then over here is the slot loading Blu-ray disc drive there. Now it appears you have an eject button here and another button on the side of the machine here, maybe the power button? I don't know. On this side of the machine you have venting. You have a high-speed USB port here, which looks like a USB 3.0 port, and again that button there, which I'm assuming is a power button. On the back of the device you have more venting here, you have a Kensington lock over here, and then you have your power port here, and you have the HDMI pass-through. So just like a Google TV, you have an HDMI in, or I'm sorry, this is the HDMI out, and then you have your HDMI in here. So if you have a cable box, which I don't, if you have a cable box that uses HDMI, you can pass it through here. Now, I do have a home theater PC that has an HDMI out, and that has my cable card in it, so maybe I could work something with that. We're going to see if this has Media Center extender capabilities like the Xbox 360, and then I really wouldn't need all that because I would just go over to that. But I don't know, I haven't fired it up yet. I don't know much about it at this point. But if you're the type of person that has a cable box with an HDMI out, you have the pass-through here so you can actually control your cable box through this device here. You have your optical audio out. You have two more USB 3.0 ports here. This is your Kinect port here. Then you have a IR out, which is for your IR blaster for the Kinect to control your other devices, your cable box, your television set, your receiver, things of that nature. And then you have your Ethernet port here. Then on this side of the machine, on the right side, you have some more venting down here. Now, on the bottom of the device, you have 4 rubberized feet, and under my hand, you have some serial number information and whatnot. So that's the Xbox One Day 1 edition, and interestingly enough, the only thing that says Day 1 is the controller. I don't really see anything that's Day 1 on the console itself or on the Kinect. So, I don't know. I know they do sell Day 1 software. So that's going to do it for this video. If you have any questions or comments, please post them down below. If you like what you see, please subscribe. And as always, if you want to help out my channel, give me a thumbs up or share this video. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.